That night, Keanu Reeves was rushing his sick elderly neighbor Eleanor to the emergency room, but hospital director Dr. Blackwood showed him the door. What he didn't know was that this decision would destroy his entire career and that the lesson Keanu would teach him would be unforgettable. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons, because this story shows the price of mercilessness. At the prestigious Beverly Hills Medical Center in Los Angeles, Dr. Richard Blackwood ruled like a king. At 55 years old, with gray hair and always wearing perfect suits, this man felt untouchable as the hospital director. Dr. Blackwood loved business more than medicine. To him, the hospital was primarily a profit-making institution. Money mattered, not patients. VIP patients waited in golden chairs while those without insurance were turned away at the door. That evening, Dr. Blackwood was reviewing the month's financial reports in his office. The numbers were excellent. They were earning good income from private patients. "When the rich get sick, we get rich," he murmured. The hospital staff feared Dr. Blackwood. Nurses and doctors knew his strict rules. No money, the door is downstairs. This policy caused many people to be deprived of emergency medical care. Dr. Blackwood ran his hospital like an elite club, but that night, the person he would encounter would teach him the biggest lesson of his life. Keanu Reeves's elderly neighbor, Eleanor Patterson, was a 78-year-old retired teacher. She had taught children for 40 years, raising hundreds of students. Now she lived alone, trying to get by on her modest retirement pension. Eleanor was Keanu's favorite neighbor. She was a grandmother who tended to her flowers in the garden every morning, offered him coffee, and sometimes brought homemade cookies. Keanu saw her as one of his real family. That evening, as Keanu was returning home, he noticed the lights in Eleanor's house flickering on and off. This wasn't normal. As he approached, he saw that the door was open. "Eleanor," he called out. A weak voice came from inside. "Keanu, help me!" Keanu ran inside. Eleanor was lying on the floor, struggling to breathe. Her face was pale, her hands were trembling. "Eleanor, what happened?" "My chest. So much pain. I can't breathe." Keanu immediately called 911, but it would take 20 minutes for the ambulance to arrive. Eleanor's condition was critical. They couldn't wait. "I'm taking you to the hospital," said Keanu, taking Eleanor in his arms. Keanu placed Eleanor in his car and drove toward the nearest hospital, Beverly Hills Medical Center. Eleanor's breathing was getting increasingly difficult. "Hold on, Eleanor," said Keanu. "We're almost at the hospital." "Keanu," Eleanor whispered. "I don't have money. Private insurance." "It doesn't matter," said Keanu. "I'll handle it." When they arrived at the hospital, Keanu rushed Eleanor to the emergency room. The receptionist looked at him. "Good evening. For patient registration, please." "This is an emergency," said Keanu. "This woman may have had a heart attack." The clerk looked at Eleanor. She was elderly, modestly dressed, clearly not a wealthy person. "Does she have insurance?" "No, but—" "Then you need to go to the private patient section, but you need to make payment first." "The woman is dying," Keanu shouted. "Treat her first." Just then, Dr. Blackwood came down from his office to understand what was happening. Dr. Blackwood had heard the commotion in the emergency room and came downstairs. He saw Keanu holding Eleanor, arguing with the clerk. "What's happening here?" he asked in a stern tone. "Doctor, sir," said the clerk, "this gentleman brought a sick woman, but she has no insurance." Dr. Blackwood looked at Eleanor. She was an elderly, poor-looking woman. Then he looked at Keanu. He seemed familiar, but he couldn't quite figure out who he was. "Sir," said Dr. Blackwood to Keanu, "to receive treatment in this hospital, you need to make payment first." "This woman is dying," said Keanu. "This is not the time to talk about money." "Unfortunately, we have rules," said Dr. Blackwood coldly. "This is a private hospital. We don't accept patients without payment." Eleanor tried to open her eyes. "Keanu, we should go. I'm not worth the money." "No, Eleanor," said Keanu. "You're worth everything to everyone." "Doctor," said Keanu, turning to Dr. Blackwood, "I'll make the payment. You can bill me, but treat this woman now." Dr. Blackwood hesitated. The money offer seemed tempting. "How much can you pay?" "Whatever it takes," said Keanu. "But treatment first." "No," said Dr. Blackwood. "Money first, then treatment. That's how our rules work." Meanwhile, Eleanor's breathing became even more difficult. Her lips began to turn blue. "This woman is dying in front of me," Keanu shouted. "What happened to your Hippocratic oath?" "My oath is to protect my hospital's interests," said Dr. Blackwood. "No money, no treatment." Keanu looked around desperately. The nurses looked sad but couldn't stand up to their director. "Fine," said Keanu. "I'm giving you my credit card. Charge whatever you want." "We need to check the limit first," said Dr. Blackwood. "This will take 15-20 minutes." 20 minutes, Keanu screamed. "That woman doesn't have 20 minutes. Eleanor was now unconscious. Keanu checked her pulse. It was very weak. "This is insane," said Keanu. "I know you, don't I? You're Dr. Blackwood. You're the director of this hospital." "Yes, I'm the director, and I protect my rules." "Well, do you know me?" said Keanu. Dr. Blackwood looked again. He seemed familiar, but no. "Who are you?" "I'm Keanu Reeves, and this woman is my neighbor, like a mother to me." Dr. Blackwood was surprised. "Keanu Reeves, the famous actor. You? Really?" "Yes, and now I'm telling you this. If you don't treat this woman, I will destroy this hospital's reputation." Dr. Blackwood paused for a moment. Keanu Reeves's threat was serious. "But the rules." "Take your rules and shove them where the sun doesn't shine," Keanu shouted. "This woman's life is more important than your rules." Dr. Blackwood was caught in a dilemma. On one side were the rules. On the other was Keanu Reeves's threat. "Okay," he finally said. "Let's treat her. But I'll take full payment." "Agreed," said Keanu. "But right now." Eleanor was taken to the emergency intervention room. Doctors began fighting the heart attack. Keanu waited outside. An hour later, the doctor came out. "It was difficult, but we saved her. She had a heart attack, but we intervened in time." Keanu felt relief. "Thank you, doctor." Dr. Blackwood brought the bill, $25,000. "Is that all?" said Keanu. "Is a human life worth only $25,000? "This is our normal price," said Dr. Blackwood. Keanu wrote the check, but his business wasn't finished. The next morning, the press was in front of the hospital. Someone had leaked what happened with Keanu Reeves at the hospital. "Mr. Reeves, can you tell us what happened last night?" Keanu stood in front of the microphones. "Last night, I tried to save my neighbor's life, but this hospital's director refused to provide treatment without money." The journalists were shocked. "Did we speak with hospital director Dr. Blackwood?" "Yes," said Keanu. "He told me this. No money, no treatment, for a woman who was about to die." The news spread across the country. Keanu Reeves, hospital director, refused to treat dying woman. Hundreds of people were protesting in front of the hospital. They were shouting, "Blackwood, resign!" Inside, the hospital staff had turned cold toward Dr. Blackwood. Nurses and doctors weren't talking to him. "Doctor," said head nurse Linda, "because of you, our hospital's reputation is gone." "What did I do?" asked Dr. Blackwood. "You made a dying woman wait for money. We became doctors to save people, not to make money." Dr. Blackwood was left alone in his office. His 30-year career had collapsed in one night. His phone rang. It was his wife. "Richard," said his wife, "the children have become a laughingstock at school. They're saying, 'Your father is the merciless doctor.'" Dr. Blackwood began to feel regret for the first time. A huge storm erupted on social media. The hashtag, shame on Blackwood, became a trending topic. No money, no treatment? What century are we living in? Dr. Blackwood should resign. Keanu Reeves is an angel. Protest calls were made to the hospital. People demanded Dr. Blackwood's resignation. Dr. Blackwood sat in his office, watching the developments. His phone was ringing constantly. Emails were pouring in. The hospital board called an emergency meeting. "Richard," said the board chairman, "this scandal will destroy the hospital. You need to do something." "I just followed the rules," said Dr. Blackwood. "You refused to treat a dying woman. What kind of rule is that?" 3 days later, Keanu came to the hospital to visit Eleanor. But he also wanted to talk to Dr. Blackwood. He went up to Dr. Blackwood's office. "Dr. Blackwood, can we talk?" Dr. Blackwood was surprised. Why did you come?" "To tell you something." Keanu sat down. "Dr. Blackwood, you became a doctor because you wanted to save people, didn't you?" "Yes, in the old days." "So what changed?" Dr. Blackwood thought silently. "Money, success, status. I guess I forgot my real purpose." "Can you imagine Eleanor being your mother?" Dr. Blackwood's eyes filled with tears. My mother also died like this, in a poor hospital, because she couldn't get adequate treatment." "Then why do you allow other mothers to die?" Dr. Blackwood began to cry. What have I done? I've become a monster." "No," said Keanu. "You're someone who lost their way, but you can still come back." "How? Everyone hates me." "First apologize to Eleanor, then show that you've changed." Dr. Blackwood went to Eleanor's room. The elderly woman was sitting in bed. "Mrs. Patterson," said Dr. Blackwood, "I made a very big mistake. I apologize to you." Eleanor looked at him. "Doctor, I forgive you, but forgiving yourself is more important." "How?" "By never doing it again." Dr. Blackwood held a meeting with hospital management. "I was wrong," he said. "In this hospital, we will now also treat patients who don't have money." "This doesn't make sense, Richard," said one executive. "We'll lose money." "Money isn't everything," said Dr. Blackwood. "If it's become more important than human life, we're not doctors, we're merchants." New policies were implemented. Treatment in emergencies even without money. Payment plans for low-income patients. Free basic health checkups. The staff saw Dr. Blackwood's change and began to respect him again. Eleanor was discharged. 2 weeks later, Keanu took her home. "Keanu," said Eleanor, "I'm alive because of you." "No, Eleanor. You're alive because of the doctors." "Dr. Blackwood seems to have changed," said Eleanor. "He comes every day to ask about my condition." Indeed, Dr. Blackwood was following Eleanor like she was his private patient. He was showing her special attention, providing her medications for free. "Doctor," said Eleanor one day, "why are you doing this?" "Because I treated you very badly, and I want to make up for it." "Not to me," said Eleanor. "You treated yourself badly. You lost your medical honor." "How do I get it back?" "By trying to be a good doctor every day." 6 months later, Dr. Blackwood was a completely different person. The hospital was now patient-focused, not money-focused. He opened free clinics. He created special funds for poor patients. He himself donated part of his salary to this fund. "Dr. Blackwood," said head nurse Linda, "you've become a completely different person." "My old self is dead," said Dr. Blackwood. "Now I'm a real doctor." Keanu also visited the hospital to see the change. "Dr. Blackwood," he said, "congratulations. You've created a real healthcare institution." "This is thanks to you," said Dr. Blackwood. "You taught me to look in the mirror." Dr. Blackwood's transformation inspired other hospitals too. The system called the Blackwood model began to be implemented nationwide. Patients without money were now being treated. The healthcare system was becoming more humane. Eleanor had also completely recovered. She was now going to regular checkups, and Dr. Blackwood was closely monitoring her. "Keanu," said Eleanor one day, "you didn't just save my life." "What do you mean?" "You saved Dr. Blackwood's soul, too, and the lives of thousands of patients." A year later, Beverly Hills Medical Center had become the most respected hospital in the country. It was now working for humans, not for money. Dr. Blackwood had also received the Doctor of the Year award. At the ceremony, he said, "I don't deserve this award, because I once lost my medical honor. I thank Keanu Reeves and Eleanor Patterson for reminding me of this." Everyone in the hall stood up and applauded. Keanu and Eleanor were also at the ceremony. Eleanor was now volunteering at the hospital, giving morale to elderly patients. "This is enough for me," said Eleanor. "Now this is a real hospital." 6 months later, again at midnight, an emergency patient came to the hospital. A homeless man had suffered a heart attack. The old Dr. Blackwood would have turned him away. But the new Dr. Blackwood immediately intervened. "To the operating room immediately," he shouted. "Nobody ask about money." The man was saved. When he got up, he said to Dr. Blackwood, "Doctor, how can I thank you? I have no money." "No need," said Dr. Blackwood. "Just live healthily. That's enough for me." This was proof that Dr. Blackwood was a real doctor. Today, Dr. Blackwood retired at age 65. But the system he created in the hospital continues. Eleanor, despite being 80 years old, still volunteers. Keanu also regularly visits the hospital. "Keanu," said Dr. Blackwood at his retirement ceremony, "you taught me the greatest lesson. Money is not more important than life." "I didn't teach you a lesson," said Keanu. "You listened to your own conscience." This story teaches us money and status cannot be reasons for mercilessness. True success is benefiting people. And Dr. Blackwood became a real doctor for exactly this reason. If this story affected you, don't forget to hit the like button. Have you ever encountered such mercilessness? Share with us in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring stories of Keanu Reeves.